Hello, Keyforgers. Brobnar89 here, back with another groundbreaking discovery. Hopefully we'll actually open a groundbreaking discovery, or maybe a dark discovery this time. I've opened a lot of dark tidings, and I have not seen either of those yet. This deck's showing me the potential to have both. All you need is Logos and Fish, and maybe you could have both in your deck. We will have to see what he who is known as Fish Sticks. He who is known as Fish Sticks has in store. I have to say, it doesn't sound very ferocious of a name, not very intimidating, but maybe it'll be a great deck. He who is known as Fish Sticks. Again, another one of the this box, they got the pull tab right. I don't know. Some of them didn't. Some of them did. Okay, Chronophage with a draw pip on it. So your opponent's artifacts gain Omega. Binary Moray. Ooh, these are both very fun cards to start off here. Flea the Researcher with 1 power and elusive. Of course, we know Flea. Nuevo Archaeologist. More opportunity for archiving here. Armadrone. 1 power and 3 armor with a fight steal 1. Okay, lots of creatures in here. Infomorph, a second Infomorph, information exchange, static charge, a second static charge, a third static charge. Wow, that's a lot of static charges. And then submersive principle. Very good to see that scaling amber control in here. I'm switching up the way I'm going to do these a little bit. I think the cards in the set are fairly well known, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick to reviewing each house and then a look at the stats at the end. So 3 static charges, very interesting. You could make it very hard for them to keep one of their creatures on the board, or spread them out and keep a couple of different creatures dealing damage to their neighbors. Definitely interesting to see. I'm gonna be very curious to see how that kind of plays out, that just slow damaging the board. Very happy to see Submersive Principle, that free, or the some of the only scaling amber control in this set is great to have. Information exchange, a little bit of stealing, great. And then just a big board of Logos creatures here with some pretty good effects. Chronophage, obviously excellent disruption. Binary Moray with a little bit of efficiency in here, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and Nuevo as well. We'll see what the rest of the deck has here. We've got the Sanctum ship here, which I don't actually know what this one does. It is a rare, so I'll go ahead and read it. It's an artifact, action, exhaust up to 4 friendly Sanctum creatures. For each creature exhausted this way, stun and exalt a creature. Interesting. I feel like this could be good situationally. We'll have to see what kind of creatures we have in Sanctum, if that makes any sense. Our Red Hand Registry, excellent. Badge Magus. So that doesn't go super well with the ship, because Badge Magus wants to fight and have the neighbors fight. I guess you could use the Illuminator to like exhaust the Sanctum creatures, but I don't know. Badge Magus, you kind of want to use your non-Sanctum creatures, like Infomorph would be really nice next to Badge Magus. Salvador, okay, a little bit of capturing. Grand Melee, whoopsies. Seneschal Sargassa with a little bit of capturing mechanic there. Shifting battlefield, some more capturing. Surbever and a second Surbever. So these would probably be pretty good with that artifact, that Sanctum artifact. And I guess Sargassa would be pretty good too, because you don't really want to fight with Sargassa, because you might want to keep it around for the amber control. Although this deck doesn't have a lot of tide control, so Sargassa might not be too strong. Staunch Knight is definitely a fighter. Taxing Journey, a little bit more of that capture mechanic in there. And then a Urian to finish it off. Definitely don't want to be using your Urian to use that artifact because you want to get that double reap in for sure. At least the one extra amber. It's pretty good. So the anti-steal red hand registry is pretty fun. Very neat effect just to pace your opponent if they're trying to steal from you. Yeah, I kind of like the artifact with Sargassa and 2 Cerbevers. That's neat. It's also good that you can choose as many as you want from 1 to 4. So then you can use your other Sanctum creatures to reap or whatever. So that makes some sense. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that thing works out, because it's like you're exchanging reaping now, gaining amber now for stunning, or is it stun and exhaust? Stun and exalt. Excuse me, stun and exalt. So you're exchanging the reaping now for stunning their creature, and then you get the amber later, possibly. So yeah, it's a little odd. I'll see how it works. A little bit of board control in the grand melee there, and then some capturing onto some big creatures that we have, and a lot of targets for capturing in Logos as well. You'd be pretty happy to put amber onto the Infomorph, because that's not a target really. They're not going to be trying to get it. I guess the SGS Illuminator could work well in tandem with your static charges. Like if you know at the beginning of their next turn whatever creature is going to die to the static charge, you can exhaust it and put amber onto it. But then it's like, why wouldn't you just reap if that creature is going to get destroyed anyways? What's the point of doing that? So yeah, that's actually pretty silly. Does not a good synergy. Lackgabbon, another rare that I'm not too familiar with, so I'll go ahead and read it. 3 power, Lackgabbon gets +1 power for each other exhausted creature. If there are 3 or more exhausted creatures, Lackgabbon gains Skirmish and Hazardous 5. So we're going to hope for lots of exhaustion mechanic in-house here. I guess there's a very long walk to get to using the artifact, the SGS, together with Badge Magus and this guy. That's a very long walk to get there, but in theory, you could exhaust creatures with your Sanctum, and then with this thing, with the artifact, and then Badge Magus could fight something and use the Lackgabbon as the neighbor, which now has more power and has Skirmish. But the easier route to get there is having more things that exhaust in House Unfathomable here. The Chosen One is going to be an excellent target for that. The Chosen One is another rare. Instead of readying creatures they control during their ready card step, your opponent deals 1 damage to the Chosen One for each exhausted creature they control. Such a nice pace card. Really good early game. Very difficult to deal with. Wrath or Ruin. We know that one. Guilt Spine Netcaster. Okay, so there's some of that exhaustion mechanic. Horrid Scion, a little bit of a removal for you. Ooh, Maelstrom is fun. We'll have to see our creature count in this deck. A lot of our Amber control seems to be coming from capturing, so I don't know how good that will be. Portal. That's, I think, the first Tide control we've seen in the deck. Rakuzel's Chant, exhaust a creature. At the Tide side, exhaust each creature instead. So that goes well with our... No, it doesn't go well with the good book. I mean, you can exhaust 1 creature with it, so that's fine. Seabringer, another way to raise the tide for you. Storm Surge. Your opponent cannot ready cards during the ready card step of their next turn. And a second Storm Surge, that's quite good. Really good pacing there. And Wicolia for that key cost control. Okay, so a decent number of ways to exhaust creatures, which will go well with the Gaboon here. So, and then you can use it to just remove threats, which is pretty good. But it's not like amazing. I feel like there's not a ton of amber in this deck, but a good bit of disruption. Let's look at the amber count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, pretty low pips. Let's count the creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pretty high. That is a pretty high count for this set especially. So if you can get on the board and you can be reaping and doing other cool effects for efficiency and disrupting your opponent with Chronophage, and there is a bit of taunt protection for the Chronophage. The Seabringer could do that. That's going to be pretty good. You can also disrupt your opponent with these, just like mess up their board plan and really cut into their board every turn until they can deal with those by basically just having to destroy their own creature. That's pretty good. We also have the 2 Cerbevers, more taunting to keep our important creatures safe, which is good in a board deck. Chosen One as well would be excellent to go behind taunt. Just make it even harder for your opponent to remove that. Yeah, that's really strong. So yeah, lots of disruption here. Maelstrom too, but again, like I said, this is only going to be situationally good. You might want to pop it into the archive and hold on to it if you can with like the Moray or the Nuevo. Hold on to it until a time when your opponent wipes the board. If they have, they've got a gateway in the deck, so you wait until they play it and then drop their board, and then you follow up on your turn with the Maelstrom. That could be pretty effective disruption there. This double Storm Surge, more disruption too. Yeah, so definitely seems like a deck that can hang out on the board and get some reaping in, and then try to just mess with your opponent's game plan. The SGS doing that as well. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Let's look at Amber control here. We've got Wicolia for key cost control. We've got some capturing here. There's a lot of capturing in this deck. So I feel like that, yeah, more capturing. You definitely want to stick around on the battlefield. I think that's the 3rd card with capture, 4th card with 4 Amber control, 4th, 5th, 6, pretty good Amber control, actually. Yeah, pretty decent. 7, because you can capture a lot, and then once your opponent manages to get it back, then you can hit them with Submersive Principle and delete a bunch of that Amber. So pretty decent Amber control overall. I like the disruption here. It feels like a disc deck from a previous set. Yeah, I think this could get a decent bit done. Let's look at the board control. So we have 2 for exhaustion, 3, 4, 5, 6. A lot of stuff that controls the board. We can count the Chosen One for that for sure. 7, 8. I don't know if you count this. I mean, it seems not very good. Yeah, I would say that's 8 things that control the board, and then Chronophage is just like really good disruption as well. So this looks like a very fun deck that, yeah, really revolves around disrupting your opponent's plan and then just slowly building up to get enough Amber while you're through the board, while you're just making it your opponent's life difficult with disruption. That looks like a very fun deck. I'm excited to try that one out. This is Brobnar89 here on Cull the Weak with another groundbreaking discovery, and I will catch you next time.